Welcome back. Russian President Vladimir Putin has spoken publicly of his readiness to improve diplomatic relations with Europe, saying his country is ready to restore dialogue despite ties remaining at their lowest point since the invasion of Ukraine. President Putin says he hopes relations could eventually return to normal, constructive communication based on mutual respect for national interest and security concerns. He also added that Russia remains open to mutually beneficial cooperation with all countries without exception. These remarks come as some European leaders cautiously reopen debate over the need for engagement with the Russian government. The Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and French President Emmanuel Macron both recently called for Europe to consider re-engaging with Russia, arguing that diplomatic channels should not be entirely shut. Now, for more on this new twist coming from the Russian president, I have on Zoom the chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Russia, Dr. Godwin Ibe. Welcome to the program, Dr. Godwin.
Thank you for having me. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, you are. So European leaders have previously rejected direct talks with President Putin, citing his lack of commitment to dialogue and his continued attacks against Ukraine as reasons. What are your thoughts on President Putin's sudden change of mind? Would you say he is serious about better relations with the EU, or is it a way to get off the pressure of EU sanctions and diplomatic isolation?
First of all, the premise of the question, I have to anatomically dissect it so that I could answer it correctly. First of all, there's nothing sudden about Russia's foreign policy. Russia has always been ready for peace, and unapologetically so. This situation that we all find ourselves in has been disregard for the interest of a large geopolitical power in the name of Russia, and selectively obeying international law under the so-called rules-based order. It's got worsened due to the failure of the Minsk agreement, which was used as a ploy to deceive Russia and arm Ukraine, the slaughter of Russians in Donbass, and the repression of Russian language and religion. These are the things that led to the escalation. So Russia has always been ready for peace. It says that it wasn't the side, it was Ukrainian side that banned negotiation. Russia at no point in this conflict stopped or negotiation, was always willing. So there's nothing sudden about it. Secondly, the pillars, the so-called fictitious pillars of diplomatic isolation. Russia has friends and allies all over the world. It has not been isolated in any way, shape, or form. Rather, those that imposed sanctions on Russia isolated themselves and shot themselves in the foot, because they are feeling it both economically, inflation, high energy prices. So, Russia has always been ready for peace and is continuing that trajectory, ready to dialogue with whoever is willing, and also ready to dialogue with Russia.
Okay, so Europe has continuously offered support to Ukraine in form of cash and military assistance. Do you think this latest move by the Russian president could somehow divert the EU's attention from Ukraine's security matters?
It is not sudden, once again. It is a continuation of Putin's and Russia's foreign policy, and how European react. It's their own personal problem, not the problem of Russian Federation. Russia will continue. Russia is a large country, a great geopolitical power, a large economy, an energy giant. It will do well irrespective of any tantrum thrown by anybody, anywhere, in any part of the world. So it doesn't really require or it depend on the reaction of any party to function. So the most important thing is, if you want to understand Russian policy, it is pretty much clear. It has been laid out both in documents, through diplomatic channels, through military action, saying that these are our core national interests, our core tactical interests, our core strategic interests. And if you're not fine with it, you could just keep your reactions to yourself. So basically, that's the Russian policy. Now, I've been on this show so many times talking about the Monroe Doctrine of the rules of international in geopolitics. The rules are different for big players. And I spoke about the Monroe Doctrine used by the US, where no enemy can have a foothold in their own neighborhood. And we can see these days Trump is saying it out openly, without any mask, without gloves, clearly, openly saying, this is our hemisphere. We control our hemisphere. We say what happens in our hemisphere, repeating what I've been saying all along. There's no geopolitical power that will take it lightly when a competitor is trying to operate in his hemisphere. And also Europe is realizing that, oh, maybe the United States is a bigger competitor than Russia. And America first means that Europe not only cannot be first, but they can only be at best a distant third in American first policy.
Do you see diplomatic relations between Russia and European Union leading to Russia de-escalating the war in Ukraine, or would it be seen as trivializing Russia's actions in Ukraine?
The war will. No war can last forever. No conflict can last forever. At some point, the fatigue sets in, and the loser will throw in the towel. This conflict is going to end on Russian terms. It is going to end because, well, Ukraine has admitted it openly. They are not winning the war. They have also admitted that they do not have enough support. Trump has said Ukraine is the one holding back the peace between the two sides. It certainly, without any iota of doubt, end on Russian terms, getting Donbass as it wanted to, and ensuring that Ukraine is not a member of NATO, instilling compulsorily that Russian language is recognized as a national language for Russian-speaking people in Ukraine. Russian religion in Orthodox Christianity is instilled, and any form of fascism against Russian people will be eradicated. This is not something that there's any doubt that it will be fulfilled. It certainly will be done.
Chairman, Nigerians in diaspora, Russia. Dr. Godwin Ibe, thank you for your insights.
Thank you for having me.
That's well known for now.